I know a lot of you know from Twitter. It's not that Mango, but I think you'll become very well acquainted with the way that Mango's been playing this tournament.
All right, so we have a blaster from each side. We have a sniper coming out on the side of License to Krill.
Yeah.
Smiley actually does play a lot of sniper. I have seen him play it several times. So let's see what he can do on at a LAN tournament with it.
Yeah, we'll see here. And to pick it on Clam Blitz, too. That's very, very interesting. Clam Blitz, arguably the fastest mode. You need a lot of momentum to make things happen. So to pick it on here, I'd say is bold, as they say. A very bold pick.
Yeah, so we see already they've gone 2 down. I think we're going to... Wow!
Oh!
See the Squidbags come out. He even Squidbags through the snipe.
I warned you about Mango, did I not? I said you'd become very well acquainted with him because we're going to be saying his name a lot. It's the first on-stream big Squidbag that I've seen, at least. But I haven't been watching all of it either, so.
Yes, but we also have Mario here, and you know...
not to be outdone.
You know he is not going to allow somebody to out-Squidbag him. So I think what we're going to see is it's going to be very, very back and forth. These comps are very aggressive overall, even with a splat charger. Being able to hold that charge like you can, as you can see right there, you're going to be moving forward actually quite often to fight.
You're going to be moving forward a lot, but they have to be very careful here because you look, the only quote-unquote slow weapon that you see from Tina Doesn't Know here is that Flings-a-Roller. And the Flings-a-Rollers you saw as Bronze just got bopped by it, that has the normal flick too. That's not even a slow weapon conventionally. And Mario's certainly one of the best at using it right now, if not the best that we've seen. So, I don't know. You see, look at this pressure. Feels like so much of this game has been played up in this court area. I know Mango goes down there, but Mario is still up there making more happen. Hitzel comes in with the football. Another one goes down. And it looks like the last one over here is Brock, who is able to get one and going to get taken down once again by Hitzel on the end zap. It looks like they might have finally done enough damage control to get back to mid or at least try making a comeback here. But here on the Reef, it is so easy for things to go south so quickly. There are just so many ways to get up to your court area.
And now, a very, very important spot to hold is that bridge right there. As you see, Smiley's trying to hold it. Brock now coming in with the bubbles to try and take it back. You can do a lot from there. You can paint on both sides of mid. You can paint all across there, apply a lot of pressure. So it's very important that you hold that.
Yeah, you can see that they're trying to move Smiley up here so that he can kind of impose his will on the enemy team from a more ranged perspective to kind of, you know, play the peanut gallery, if you will, up there, but they're just not letting him get up there. There's too much pressure. They know where he's trying to go, and they keep throwing bombs up there. The nades that come from that end zap, a lot of people talk about how good the end zap is as a main weapon and with its special. That sub's pretty good, too. Do not underestimate the suction bomb, even post-nerf.
It's a little unfortunate. It seems like most of their specials have had to be used very defensively. Just trying to push Tina Doesn't Know out rather than pushing in on them, trying to keep their side of the map. It just seems like it's going to be very difficult for them to hold that, to push in with. Don't have those specials ready.
We'll see what comes of this. That was a very important shot that Bronze actually got there. You saw Mango with that blaster was jumping off and actually had special, but I think he got picked clean out of the air. Brock's going to try to run this in and does finally put some points on the board. If Brock's able to get this kill, they might be able to get some more. They're going to push up, but they only have 3 clams here. Those clams aren't going to be able to get there because Smiley's going to get taken down by Count Black, and that is going to be the end of that barrier down segment. Let's see if they can continue putting the pressure on them, though, because they're in a good spot.
It looks like they have a lot of map. It's very good for them. They need to be applying that pressure constantly right now. They cannot let them take back mid. They cannot give them that sense of security that, okay, now we can move out and do what we want.
Right, and now already some specials have gone back the other way. Mango getting a great shot there on Banana Bread, making it look so easy. Now Mango's going to be the one that's going to grab here. You see the splashdown, and you see Bronze coming and trying to make something happen here, but Bronze going to go ahead and get that trade anyway. I wasn't actually sure that Bronze was going to be able to manage that even. Now the Stingray is going to come out, but as you said earlier, these are defensive specials. They haven't been able to use them in the way they'd like, and someone's actually behind them now, and I don't know if there was a call out there for that, and Tina going to come in and make them pay for that. Going to take down 2 for the price of 1.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting, and I've seen a lot of it. We just saw it a little bit from Mango earlier. What they're doing is they're using the football or the super clam, as you would say, as a bait. They're throwing it forward and just having it lay on the ground, so people think that's where they are hiding.
Here comes another push here. They have enough clams to make this happen if they get it in. All they need is 2 more clams. I don't know if they're going to be able to get it. No, Smiley going to get taken down. Bronze is going to have to play what's a 2v1. Can Brock sneak it in? Brock gets it! Whoa! Unbelievable! He came around the left side. He pivoted back and snuck in. They were so focused on Bronze because they thought he was the last one left. And Brock.com being the hero, sneaking on that left side and putting in 2. They only needed 2. He only had 2. What presence of mind to pivot back around, knowing that they were going to go after Bronze, who had just did that splashdown in the zone. Wow. Clam Blitz, everybody.
He definitely drew in. He drew in all of that aggro, and everyone was paying attention to him, trying to get him down because he had been a problem earlier. He had been really the one that had been any plays that were being made. He was the one making them. He was the one that was stopping people from going in. And they wanted to shut that down. I think it was maybe a miscommunication about how many people were down. They didn't know.
I mean, in that situation, and that happens so quick too. I mean, whenever something like that happens, you go down, you see one there, you try to pay attention to the one who's posing the immediate threat, because it's a blaster too, right? You probably took a little chip damage from that splashdown. You want to try to take out that threat, and Brock just snuck up on that left side. And there you go. We talked about how easy it is to be collapsed on and lose space very quickly. There you go. License to Krill, never giving up there. That game was decidedly in Tina Doesn't Know hand for the vast majority of it.
They had control, majority of that. It didn't look very good for License to Krill, and they were able to just sneak that last bit in there. They stood their ground. They didn't give up, and they held back the pushes because even though they did use most of their specials defensively, it did stop Tina Doesn't Know from making the pushes that they wanted to. Yeah,
and that's, hey, they're specials for a reason. Indeed special. We have Schellendorf Institute here, the newest map here in Splatoon 2 on Splat Zones. We played this a little bit. We actually played it a lot on League the other day. What's your take on this map and mode?
I actually like it a lot. I think a lot of people have described it as a better hammerhead bridge. Yes, that's the word. Which, for the people who don't know that one, that had a lot of grates on the top, where it had like essentially 2 levels to it. And I think that's what this one has too. You're fighting on 2 different levels entirely.
And here's a composition that I saw and I found very, very interesting at Squid Storm. So this is a jet squelcher, a custom jet squelcher to be specific, and a forge. 2 long-range shooters, and I don't see any other team that runs this comp. But I've talked to Bronze a little bit about it. He likes the suppression that it offers. He likes the control of the match that they can do, especially when it's long-range like this. And when Brock can make plays like that and somehow escape with his life and bubbles intact, you start to see why.
It definitely comes down to the pressure that they can emit from behind while their other teammates go in and get the kills. They have to be able to hold down, and with the pro being able to put out the bubbles and the jet being able to pop those safely from a good distance, you see why it ends up working out for them.
Yeah, and look at the pressure. We've been talking so much about these. Smiley has been going in and having his way so far, just coming back in and putting the pressure. You see Smiley still there on the top of their glass, just continuing to be a nuisance there as this timer ticks down. You have to get past Smiley first, and then once you do, there's a barrage of bullets from these long-range weapons. There's some more armor. Going to get taken down, but we're now to 25 seconds left. You know they've called it out. Hitzel's going to try to come here on the right side. Pops that armor, but is still called out. They know he's there. They finally come in, get some decent control. If they punish this jump, which it looks like they do.
One down.
Oh, careful. Careful. Oh, that's why we say it.
That was a very sneaky suction bomb right there. And while he did get him down anyways, which is unfortunate because then you don't have those bubbles to push back in, but still a trade is not what you wanted.
No, trading that one kind of. Mango going in maybe a little haphazardly, and Mario actually ran into a bomb there that was sitting, waiting, and now they take it back. That was some very unfortunate misplays from there. Hitzel going to be the final one to go down. from that sequence, and now they're a little bit staggered here. Mario going to try to make something happen, but Bronze with this range is going to just continue to pester and make things difficult for them. Going to pivot back here, senses something coming from right. It's Mango at the top, gets taken down by Banana Bread, and Licensed to Krill is making this look like a very different style of game from game one. That's a full wipe.
They're all down, and I think it's interesting that they actually haven't used the glass a whole lot. Licensed Krill hasn't. They are on their side, that is. You would think that a lot of the long-range weapons would go there, but you see Bronze and you see Brock as well coming in with that pro. They were all just constantly in mid, fighting, holding it down, and making sure that their aggressive players could go in and do what they wanted to.
That was a convincing game. The plan came to fruition there. Some very big plays when they needed to, but some really unfortunate kind of happenstances that do happen, or as they say, unlucky. Twitch chat. But there were a couple times that they ran into some bombs that they really had no business running into that staggered them, made it difficult. And if one person comes down there and gets called out by those two long-range shooters, the chip damage is just so much. And then what do? You retreat to the side, you heal, but that's still another second goes by. They still know where you're at. They can get set up. The specials come in. You start to see why it's there. I'm looking to see a good response.
So we see right now that Licensed Krill is actually up 2-0 on Tina Doesn't Know, which I was thinking, it was going to be a little bit closer of a match. You did see the first match, I think, is really what swung that momentum for them, though. The way they were able to bring it back with that clutch factor, it can really get you going, can really get your muscles moving, your brain pumping, and you want to shut them down entirely. And that's what I think happened, and that's why they were able to KO on the second map.
As they say back home, gets my blood boiling.
Let's look at the third map here.
Sturgeon Shipyard, Rainmaker.
My blood doesn't boil at home because it's like 8 degrees.
That's fair. Midwest.
It's cold, man.
It's really cold. So yeah, Sturgeon Shipyard. Left or right? Which do you prefer?
I don't like this map.
Neither. The classic neither.
I think overall left is easier to push. But if you can take right, I think it's more important.
I would agree. So it takes more to start the push on right, but if you take right, you're home free. If you go left, you have to put all your eggs in one basket. You have to make that leap of faith, and it can be kind of scary. We see Mario going over to the Dynamo now, switching up. Only Mario. But now Smiley, the Charger, and this is more of a map I can see that Charger coming into play on. Lots of spaces that you can go and get set up. Hitzel going to run right up and just go at Bronze. Takes out one. Smiley now going to get taken down. And, okay, now the sniper doesn't look as clean. Adios.
Rainmaker's down by himself, and there's not much you could do about that. So you see they're going to start taking that map. They're going to give themselves options to push. That way the sniper is not able to get set up to actually shut it down well.
Yeah. Oh, this is a bloodbath right now. The rain making life difficult for us. But they're going to run it all the way up. They are out of position. Bronze misses the one shot he had to hit. And Mango jumps up, popping off. Very excited. Mango is the one there who's pushing his chair back in. Love to see that. Love to see the spunk earlier. For those of you who didn't see Diaz pop off earlier, I think I counted at least 16 different jumps that happened in that pop off. But hey, I said I expected a response. You want a response? How about that? The only kill came at the very beginning from Mango, onto Mango from the sniper. And after that, the foot went on the gas, and it just kept running.
And like I said, they took total map. They pushed in with those specials immediately and knew when to strike. They had to strike fast, so Licensed Krill could not get set up. Because I think the advantage that they've had is when they're able to get set up, they are very, very strong. I think Tina Doesn't Know what they need to do is completely disrupt that constantly, and I think that's what's going to give them that good setup. And speaking of not being able to get set up on a map, something that moves very quickly, you wanna tell us what this next one is?
Blackbelly Skate Park. All of you who played Splatoon 1 know how this one goes. It's not exactly the same, but it is still a small map. Things happen very, very quickly here, and if you lose too much control of mid, that tower will start to go to what we call the half pipe or the quarter pipe area on the side. When you're there, almost everybody will be looking in that direction, and it becomes very difficult to get around behind if they have control of that. This map can swing in a hurry. Stingray's very strong here. Bubble's very strong here. And a variety of weapons can really make you pay here if you let them get in, let too much pressure get on you here. So with the way Tina Doesn't Know just played, I'm liking their chances here. That aggression, that ability to get in and just continue pounding home those, I mean, the pushes. They've had the big pushes, and we'll see if that continues here.
I doubt that we're going to see a sniper on this map from
not.
Smiley.
I really hope not.
Yeah. It would be a very risky choice.
Let me look over. They're standing right there. I think he's on Clash Blaster, actually.
It looks like he might be. I think you're right.
My eyes aren't what they used to be, but we might see that. And it looks like Bronze is actually on the Jet Squelcher for the Ray. That makes sense. Yeah. So we'll see here what they opt to go. License to Krill, a lot of unconventional picks. We'll see if that's here. It's tower control. The basics still apply. Stingray cleans it. Blaster cleans it. You want to be able to move around. And, of course, Ink Armor almost always necessary. We were correct, but it looks like a sloshing machine. The first sloshing machine that I think we've seen all set coming out of Banana Bread.
Yeah, I think so. We've seen 2 Stingrays from 3 Stingrays actually on the side of License to Krill. Oh my goodness! So if they get hold of that area, they get hold of Half Pipe, and they can chain those, that's pretty much going to push them at least through 1 or 2 checkpoints.
Well, they're already eliminated, pretty much all of them. So that's kind of a difficult situation. Hitzel going to try to be the distraction right there. Gets taken down. Good defense by Brock, not being fooled by that little fun move that was made there. Mango going to go ahead and splash down, and Bronze actually goes down in that situation. And then the powerful Dynamo going to go ahead and take out there. Smiley going to wait, but the suppression that the Dynamo's putting on, hey, this thing got buffed, everybody, and there it is.
It's got that damage that it needs, I think. It still doesn't paint, obviously, like it used to, but I think it actually is a decent tool for spacing, for pressure, and it's going to be able to do some work and get some kills in this match.
Flash Blaster not finding anything, getting swept up right there by the brush. The brush is totally fine when a blaster jumps right in front because it's a little easier to aim in that situation. But now we're seeing not some passive play, but they had to play defense this entire time. And we did see that. License to Krill held that the entire first game and still came back and won it, but they're going to start running out of chances if they're not careful. Mango gets that important double, comes in now, has the armor and the splashdown. Might not get anything from it, but does get Bronze and not able to get Smiley, but the tower is once again on the move. Hitzel comes crashing in. The last one up is Mario, who's chilling right there, and down comes the hammer. Count Black in the Mario. I'm disappointed there's no squid bag.
There should have been. I think he got stuck there a little bit. And he also got pushed off there by Tina. But you see the Stingray, again, coming in on this push during that half pipe. It's going to be extremely pivotal for them.
And I love what Mario's doing right now, trying to put this pressure on mid. We talked about how when you're focusing that way, coming back around to mid is not always an option if it's defended well. You see Banana trying to put something on here, but Hitzel actually is the one that's leading the charge here, running forward, trying to make something happening. Once again, the Stingray comes in, but there's just not a whole lot sustained that's coming from it. Once again, all of those Stingrays had to be used to stop that push. They got all the way down to 15.
And it's once you get in the half pipe, it's just a bottleneck, and it depends on really who has good positioning, who has the better setup, the better specials to push down that half pipe. Because if you don't have the specials that you need, or you don't have the range that you need, it's going to be very difficult to stop it.
And right now, all of these Stingrays are starting to become a little bit too much of a good thing, I think. You see them sitting on 2 Stingrays right now, but in the instance that they're at right now, those Stingrays can't really be used to turn the tide for them. Hitzel's going to go back here, run away, going to get taken down right before, almost take a Banana Bread there, and now we might finally start to see these Stingrays come into play here. It does look like they have 2 ready and in the wings. Brock sitting up here very close to Ink Armor. Let's see how they do these. So the Ink Armor comes out first. One of the Stingrays comes out as well. They're going to sit here as long as they can. Tina goes down. Now the double ray comes into effect. Brock still sitting there. The armor's gone. Mango running for his life, trying to make something happen. They see one coming around. They try to address it, but it just wasn't enough for them. And Mario goes ahead and cleans that one up. And Mango's still alive after 2 Stingrays. Gets a direct for his trouble. But, I mean, there just wasn't enough there. Like, 2 Stingrays and an armor wasn't enough to get through that defense.
I think it would have been best for them to keep that pressure on the tower rather than backing up and trying to take down mid. because it looked like they could have handled it if they had, if they kept it that way. It just, I don't know why they stopped the aggression, because that was their momentum. That was their time to push.
I think in that situation, they knew that someone was coming around back behind. I think it was Hitzel, and they felt that they couldn't really handle that end zap with what they had going, because they still had a Stingray that was looking the other way. I guess that was just a split-second decision they made. Hard to say now that the moment's gone exactly what could have been done better, but I agree that was really where that kind of became dismantled. Now with Hitzel set up on top mid, they're going to have the opportunity to come back in as we see Tina do just that. And now they've kind of got a bottleneck. Hitzel's going to be able to come back here and crash in if he doesn't die in the process. And then you see they're still able to put some pressure up on that bottleneck as well. So I like what they're doing here. Mario's in top mid, still alive, now gets taken out, and now things are starting to get a little dangerous. Tina has to come up big. Tina goes down. I don't know how many more specials they have. Both of the Rays are already out of commission. Oh, this is getting close. 20 seconds left. Another one goes down.
Come in.
That's it.
I think that is it.
That is it. Mario again with the pop-off. He knows what he did right there. Mario had to get that kill. They had another push. Mario just picked up his chair and swung it around.
Oh, Mango did that.
I'm sorry, Mango. I keep saying Mario. It gets
good.
You say the name so much and it starts to bleed together.
They're both MA. It's fine.
MA, and you see the bigger KAs coming in there for license to Krill, but hey, it's not how far you push cumulatively. It's about the biggest push. And my heart's beating a little bit.
It's starting to get really intense in here.
We are
going to a game 5, and I know we've seen a couple of those today already, but we haven't seen one yet in this pool specifically.
Correct.
In this group, and we are going to be going to Splat Zone's Manta Maria.
Splat Zone's Manta Maria. And before we talk too much about this map, I want to say, okay, so let's say Tina doesn't know wins this. They move to 2-1, and License to Krill will drop to 2-1.
Yes.
But if License to Krill wins this and gets to 3-0, they will have, I'm assuming, Olive and Eclipse to play. It's their next 2 matches. But 3-2 almost certainly guarantees you get out in at least the redemption bracket.
Absolutely.
So even if they do drop those 2 games, they are sitting very pretty. If your Tina doesn't know and you lose this, dropping to 1-2, that gets a little dangerous, because then a higher tier team could drop back down to you if they lose a match. So even though this is still fairly early on in the pool, some big implications here.
Yeah, you have to set yourself up strong right at the beginning, and that's what License to Krill is looking to do here. They're looking to get themselves set up so they can comfortably at least go to redemption bracket if they don't end up making even top cut.
Yeah,
through this.
Top cut's brutal here. But now we'll talk about Manta Maria, because this is one. It's one of the wider maps, right? Well, let me rephrase that. It's one of the bigger and more open maps. This is one where I feel like the team comp that we have seen them run with those double long-range shooters, I think this is the best one. They looked so good on that last Splat Zones map. So we'll see if they opt to do it here. They're going to have to find a way to control Mango, because Mango has been getting at them in very sneaky ways. We know what that Vanilla Blaster can do if he does choose to use it. And of course, got to watch for Hitzel, always.
Yeah, so it looks like we've got the Jet Squelcher and the Pro coming back out.
Yep, it's back.
They're just looking to outrange this team. I know that Bronzewood was probably going in to counter Mario, who is Count Black on there on the screen, playing the Dynamo, and it just will. The Jet Squelcher is obviously has more range than it, is able to space properly to stay outside of its range and really hold him down and oppress him, so he can't really do anything.
Absolutely, although Mario got the better of him right there, just went up and at him, had a little bit of support there from his team, but takes it cleanly. And now Mario in another position to get up there and does take out another one. Now Mango's pushing up here on the street, Mario giving chase as well. Now Hitzel running down, and they are putting all of the pressure on them. They are not even letting them get back to mid.
Making me eat my own words right there. But it looks like now that they've got this whole thing set up, it's going to be difficult for them to push back in with this comp they have. I think that they were kind of banking on being able to already own the map. You see the bubbles come in, hopefully more specials to come that are going to help them push back in here.
They do get back into control, just like you said there, almost backed right into a bomb. Very good presence of mind not to do that. We'll see now. This is the strength that they can play to right here. Can they defend? Smiley's going to have to be the aggressive pusher here. Comes back in on the side. 2 direct burst bombs to get Hitzel. Comes back over for Mango. And now They have to find a way to keep Mario pinned back up there and not let him in. His time is starting to tick away, but it also, it starts to tick away, but that's still quite a bit. And there's some good contesting here. A timely Ink Armor coming in from Hitzel. More pressure coming in. Hitzel finally goes down. Tina gets taken down by the long range of Bronze. And Bronze is wearing Respawn Punisher too. I didn't mention that earlier, but that, you never know. This is a game of seconds. We'll see if those seconds add up.
Yeah, they do need a bit of time here. They need just 20 more seconds to get in there and get that lead, but it's looking pretty good for them right now. They have a good amount of control, Tina doesn't have a whole lot of weapons that can push back in quickly.
Right, and now Smiley's going to come back around there, trying to put some pressure here. I don't think Hitzel knows that that's coming, and in comes Smiley now. And what an important kill there by Mario. If Mario had not gotten that, I don't know if Hitzel would have been able to double back around in time. Instead, the situation is completely changed, and they almost have zoned back. The last one that's left up there is barely still there. I can't even tell what it is in this scenario,
That's
but
the Pro, I believe.
The Pro, so they're still going to be able to put some pressure on, and they indeed do. Tina getting bullied by those long-range weapons, but I think that timer would still be ticking if Mario hadn't gotten that kill.
Yeah, it was very important. It's a good turnaround shot by him. You know that he's been practicing that. He has to.
He's been doing that for about as long as it's been done. Mario, one of the kind of harbingers of that weapon in Splatoon 1, and still sticking to his guns, or rollers, the case may be, in Splatoon 2.
Yeah, so now we're gonna see. It's just so back and forth. We see two specials. I think those are gonna play a huge key part in taking this down.
Bronze has been the anchor this time, continually putting shots where they need to be. The pressure here, sitting up here once again, coming up to support Brock, knowing that there's some there, and every time Bronze gets a kill, those seconds do start to add up. Notices that Mario's there, decides to come back and pivot towards mid, and then gets it again, and that's another Respawn Punisher kill. Tina barely staying around. Bronze gonna pivot back once again, knows that he can be patient, and Mango isn't able to get the kill either. One up on that plat, and like you said, this is back and forth. We keep saying these names a lot because a lot's happening.
Everything is happening on it right now. And you see Hitzel try to make an escape, couldn't quite do it. They need to set up here now. It's down. This is their last push.
Slimy going in maybe a little bit, or Smiley, sorry, going in maybe just a little bit too hard with just 10 seconds left. Mango's got to come up big, and the splashdown does come out, but that's still 3 down. Mango's the last one. He's going to need to pop off bigger than anything to get it, but there's just not enough range. Brock steps up, and that is a big win from License to Krill. What a great job getting back in with a comp that, like you said, isn't tooled to make those big aggressive pushes, but once they got in, they played to the strengths of the weapon, and Bronze with 13 KA. Wow. And I love watching License to Krill play because of that comp right there. Nobody else does that.
It's a very exciting comp. I always love seeing all of these different ideas happen, all of these things that I don't think Tina doesn't know. They didn't know about that comp, and they weren't ready for it. But obviously now they know, and now they need to prepare themselves for things like that in the future.
Yeah,
other teams are going to have to as well.
And I mean, in the more immediate future, they got to make sure they don't drop a third set.
A
third set could very well mean they don't make it out of this pool.
That is
for those of you who don't know and haven't been following along at home, top 2 teams make it to top cut. 3 through 6 go to the redemption bracket. That's the word I was looking for. Redemption bracket tomorrow, and there they have to fight other teams that are in that redemption bracket to make top cut again. The top 6 teams from that will be making it out. So, I mean, if you don't make redemption bracket, you don't get a chance at top cut.
Yeah, that is their last ditch effort to get back in.
I see what you did there. Last ditch.
Hey. To try and fight for their tournament life essentially, and you have to stick to your guns. I think that Tina doesn't know still has a good chance of getting into that.
Absolutely.
They just need to cut their losses here, move on, look forward, and try to take down the next team.
And you saw the pressure they had. You saw what they could do in that situation. That tower control game, very good for them. And of course that Rainmaker game that ended before it could even get started. So I agree with you. I think they'll do it.